Hey guys, and welcome back to another new beauty products that I've been trying and testing out this month. Which ones have worked, which ones haven't, do I have some new favorites? I think this time around most of the products actually, and when I say most I mean 5, because usually I like to keep the number at 5. That way the number of new products I'm testing out is also not exceeding too much. At the same time, each and every single product which is in here, I truly wanted each of these products in my collection for some or the other reason, and I'm obviously sharing with you whether it worked out for me, whether it didn't work out for me, will I repurchase it, that kind of thing. So yes, this time around we have all hits for the most part. Of course I'll tell you caveats for each and every single thing, but overall there are no fails, like flat out like I'm gonna declutter this after the video, those kind of fails, which is of course I'm very glad to be sharing that with you. So yes, without any further ado, let's jump into the video and let's get started. And as usual, I'm gonna start in the order of how I would apply it typically. So like we'll start with skincare, then we'll go on to makeup and that kind of a thing. So first let's start with like the first thing that I use once I'm out of the shower, which is a serum. And this serum right here is something which I have already reviewed in the past, because I had a mini, so I got a free mini sample of the alpha arbutin and vitamin C brightening serum from Pilgrim, and I love that serum so much. I got like maybe 2 or 3 uses only out of the mini, which is why I was like, I am loving this so far and I want to get the full size and I want to use it. Now first things first is this has a bit of a fragrance in there. Is it natural fragrance? No, it's artificial fragrance. It says perfume. That is the last ingredient on the list, but the fragrance in here is very nice, very mild, very subtle, does not bother me at all, which is something that is super duper important. And I love the overall experience of applying this, to be very honest, in terms of how lightweight the consistency and the texture is, how it goes on the skin. Now usually if a vitamin C serum is in my routine, I'm just using it as an antioxidant, but because this one has alpha arbutin as well, I feel like it also helps with hyperpigmentation a little bit. Now I don't have stubborn hyperpigmentation because I have gotten rid of that over the years and with using kojic acid, etc. And alpha arbutin on its own, I don't feel like is the best ingredient for me to help with hyperpigmentation if I have a very stubborn hyperpigmentation. But now whatever is left behind, or other new hyperpigmentation that comes up, is mainly because, like say if I'm breaking out, the breakouts go away and then leave behind a little bit of marks, and those are all fresh marks. So I feel like using this in my routine on a regular basis has actually helped even fade that away. So like now if I show you my bare skin, I have very little hyperpigmentation left. My skin is not spotless and completely clear, but it's like 95% clear, and then the 5% which is still there, I think it'll eventually go away with using ingredients like these. With I don't tend to use specific targeted products, but if my antioxidant serum which I'm using in the daytime already has that ingredient which is kind of helping without me having to take an active deep dive into something of that sort, then it's a win-win in my book personally. So that is why I feel like this serum is going to be something that is going to be consistent in my skincare routine long term. I think after I use this bottle as well, I'm obviously going to be trying out other serums as well, but this is something I see myself actually going back to, repurchasing. And of course Pilgrim, I feel like has a lot of really good products. The hair care I feel like gets a bad rep, but the skincare so far, everything that I have tried out, I have liked. The barrier repair moisturizer I have reviewed in the past, the serum I'm reviewing now. There are also some other moisturizers from them which I have been testing out, like because I got a bunch of samples and that works really well. The hair growth serum is really good. That's something I'm using on the back burner as well. So yes, I think some of Pilgrim products are really good, and then some others can be misses. Like I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I have heard that the hair care is not really great. So yes, but the serum is definitely a win. So highly recommend it if you're looking for a good vitamin C and you have a bit of hyperpigmentation, or maybe you tend to develop them over time. Having this in your routine will, I feel, help with hyperpigmentation simultaneously as well. So yes, this is a big win from my side. Then our next product, the second skincare product and the last skincare product before we move on to makeup, is something that I got very recently from Chemist at Play. This is their Intensely Hydrating Face Moisturizer. Now this launched a while back, but I was dying to get my hands on it. But I had a lot of other nighttime moisturizers in the rotation, like you saw in the previous months also when I was reviewing stuff. So I waited around basically, but then now that I am basically done with all the other ones, I was like, okay, let me get this and let me try it out to review it for you guys. And I did get it recently. Now I have not been using it for that long, I think barely a week-ish or so, to be completely honest. But with a product like this, I feel like even using it just once or twice, I can already tell you whether I'm gonna like it or not. So this one, I love the texture. I like that it's lightweight. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Pilgrim one, where it is not too creamy, too emollient, too heavy. It's kind of moisturizing, but at the same time doesn't feel too thick or heavy or greasy on the skin at all. Really blends up very well into the skin. A little goes a long way. I try not to overuse it, because if I use more product, I feel like it gets difficult to get it absorbed into the skin. But if I'm using like a teeny tiny bit, it covers my entire face and does not feel thick or heavy whatsoever. So yes, less is more with this one specifically. And the one thing that I do want to mention, and that was my like the first time I used it, I noticed that this has a scent to it. Now I was not expecting Chemist to have any fragrance, but when I look on the back of the label, it has yes, the third last ingredient is Santalum album oil, which is basically sandalwood oil. So the scent in this is basically the sandalwood oil. So they don't have any artificial fragrance, but they have the natural fragrance, which is in here, and that is something which is very potent. Every single time you put this on your face, you're going to smell the sandalwood. Now if you hate sandalwood smell, definitely skip this, because you're going to hate the experience of using it. Go with something that's fragrance free instead. I don't hate the scent of sandalwood, but I don't love it either. It's something I can deal with, but I feel like with so many other options out there in the market which are fragrance free, I don't see myself repurchasing this one for myself specifically because of the scent. I would rather go with something that's fragrance free to repurchase long term as a holy grail. But I might actually buy this for my mom, because the first time that I put this on, I could smell it and I wanted her to try it out as well. So I gave it to her and she really loved it and enjoyed it. I considered decluttering this and giving it to her, because I know that she's going to love it, and I can probably try and test out something else instead of continuing to work on this. But I was like, no, I don't want to go ahead and do that. I bought it, I want to use the entire thing up, and yeah, I want to repurchase it for myself, but I will probably repurchase it for her if she asks for it. So that's my review on that. The product formula in general is great, but there's that caveat towards the end. But I'm still going to use up the entire thing, and I'm not forcing myself to use it. I feel like there are other moisturizers which I have despised using way more, and I've still used up the entire thing. So this one is definitely way more fun. It's just the scent is a little bit of a put off. Okay, now that we're done with our skincare, let's move on to the 3 makeup products. The first one I actually have on my face right now as my base. This is the Mars Born to Bake. Yes, Born to Bake setting powder. Now this comes in a couple of different shades. I decided to go with the translucent shade, which is a hit and a miss, I'm going to be honest, because I don't know if you can tell right now from my face. The white that you see is partially the powder and partially the lighting in the room. But when you first put this on your face, because it's translucent, it is stark white. So this is not something I would put on my face just on its own. I definitely have to wear makeup on top, and I feel like eventually the whiteness goes away. I don't look like a ghost throughout the entire day, but I could have probably gone with the yellow shade, specifically in this particular formula, because the translucent is way too stark. I think that would have been a better shade. It could have had its own cons as well, but I'm just sharing in terms of this specific product. I will probably not go ahead with translucent in the future. That being said, I like the price point on this one. I mean, it's 450 rupees, so under 500 rupees. I could have even got it for much cheaper if I wanted to. I mean, when I bought this, I bought it at a buy 2 get 1 free offer, I believe. So I bought this, I bought another product which I'm going to talk about next, and then I got a lipstick free. I think that was the deal. Or maybe like the 2 products which were higher price were what I had to pay for, and then one was free. I'm just not sure which was which. Coming back to this product, it's a very thin, like super duper finely milled powder, which can be a really good thing because I feel like it doesn't look cakey whatsoever, but sometimes you can notice a little bit pilling around the jawline. I feel like just sometimes, but it's pretty easy to manage. And again, like I said, because it's so affordable, I feel like it is still worth it. I've been using it this month for about 2 weeks ish or so. So yes, that is my review on this so far. I've been really enjoying it, and I was looking for more loose powders because I feel like all the loose powders which I bought from the US, I have gone through most of them, if not all of them, and now I want to get more loose powders here in India which are available, which I can buy, try out, review, and then eventually find like a holy grail, which is going to be my like ultimate favorite loose powder which I use every single day for the rest of my life. And this is probably not it. I might even repurchase it, get the banana shade to see how that one works, but this particular one I think I'm going to use it up and then not repurchase. Also, I wanted to mention this one has like that K-beauty wala packaging where they have that mesh on top, so it can be a little bit messy, so keep that in mind if you are getting this. So yes, I would give this like a 6 on 10. It's not a favorite, it's not a fail either, so there is that, but I'm going to continue to use up the entire thing, whatever is left in here. Yes, moving on to the same order, the Mars order. One more thing that I bought, or should I talk about this in the end? You know what, since I started talking about it, might as well finish my spiel on this. So this is the Mars oil blotter. Now I have seen this all over on Instagram, and I was like, okay, let me try it out and see what it's going to be like. It looked really cool. It comes with like a puff sponge sort of a thing. It's more silicone-y. It's not as much of like a cloth mesh, not cloth mesh. It's, how do I describe it? It doesn't feel like a sponge that's going to absorb a lot. It's more like superficial. I think it's the silicone that is in there. So basically, the product doesn't really get absorbed into it, which is a good thing. Now, this is basically like, if you know of any like primer, basically, which is very silicone-y, very smooth, that is what this is like. You can see there's a little bit of a dent because I've used it few times, not a lot. Okay, I think did I use it twice? Yes, I think I used it twice, and I think the first time that I used it itself, I could tell that this is going to be an absolute favorite, lifesaver, game changer. I don't think this is something I would use every single day, to be completely honest, because when I'm at work, I don't have that kind of time to go to the washroom, blot, make sure that I look like completely oil free, shine free, that kind of thing. Like, I'm not that oily that I want to do it every single day. If you are that oily, or if you go to college, I think this would be amazing to have in your bag and do that. But for me, where this works really, really well and where I'm going to be getting the most use out of this is to use it after office hours. So say I did my makeup in the morning, but after office I'm going out. Maybe I'm going to a club, which I don't very often, but this month I did because a couple of my friends had their birthdays, so that's how I end up using this. Let's talk about very real life scenario. The other situation is if I'm filming throughout the entire day on Sunday. So like, I did my makeup in the morning, I film a couple of videos, then I take a break for lunch, and then post lunch when I'm sitting down to film again, I don't want to have to pile on more powder on my face, which I used to do earlier, to get that oil free, shine free appearance. I can rather use this to mattify and like get the oil to be gone from my face. So that is when I can use this on a day for your filming as well. So that's how I feel like I'm going to get the most use out of this, mainly to use after office hours if I'm going to go out. So I can just keep this on my bag on those specific days, and then before I leave office I can use this, blot it, and it actually mattifies you for a couple of hours, to be very, very honest. So that's a game-changing thing, because it is always better to use something like this rather than pile on more powder on your face. I also feel like if you are using a tissue or something to like blot off the excess oil, it does a decent job, but this I feel like also controls your oils just a little bit, because again, it's like a primer. I think if you own primers like silicone primers, you can probably use those two for the similar purpose. I don't own any primers, that is why I can't do like a hack of using that instead of using this. But I also think this is super duper cheap, so there is no harm in buying this. I mean, it's 399 rupees, so that's not the cheapest. But again, Mars does offers all the time. I think they will be doing a lot of offers for the upcoming even the festive season as well. So yes, that is a great time to buy this. And yes, I am really glad about this purchase, and I'm gonna be using it a lot in the upcoming months for sure. Moving on to our last product. I'm getting a little bit thirsty by talking so much, but yes, the last product is also something I am very very excited about. And how do I put it, I was super excited about this, but recently I discovered something which I was not expecting to be completely honest. So let me tell you what it is. Okay, so first of all, our fifth and final product is the Parul Garg Ultimate Silk Matte Collection 10 Signature Shades. Now if you can see, we have 6 shades in here, and the reason for that is the other 4 shades which are not here are shades I'm not going to be probably keeping. So yes, you can see we have 6 shades. I'm trying not to drop anything, but yes, the other 4 shades are basically shades which I know I'm not going to get a lot of use out of, so I might as well declutter those to other people who might enjoy those shades more and can get more use out of them. Also, the light is getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer because it is raining cats and dogs, and absolutely crazy. Like throughout the entire day when I started filming, it had kind of become less gloomy, more sunny, and then as we've progressed in the video, it's gotten more and more gloomy. So that's why the lighting has changed. But coming back to these lipsticks, so these are the 6 shades which I have, which I know I'm gonna work like, why can't I talk? These 6 shades are going to work for me, and that is why I know I'm going to keep them. The other 4 shades I'm going to probably declutter and give it to someone else who I know is going to use those shades, enjoy them, use them up completely. Now, when you buy something like this, it is like a trial test kit, which if you try out all the shades, you figure out what shades you like, you would like to repurchase the shades which are in here, which you know you have tried out, you love. Now the catch here is this particular set is not like a mini trial set of the entire collection. This is actually I want to say the idea was more so like, okay, let's make something which is festive, which is good for people to try out different shades. But if they love the shades, they cannot actually buy the full sizes, because if you look on the Parul Garg Beauty website, they have 2 different lipstick formulas. This particular one, which is the Silky Matte Liquid Lipsticks. Yes, the Ultimate Silk Matte Collection. So the Silk Matte Liquid Lipsticks, if you want to buy the full sizes off, and you look up any of these shades like Vibe or Swank or Charm or Vogue or Aura and Flare, none of these shades are actually available in the full sizes. If you go to looking at the full sizes, you will see completely different shade names like Chocolate Cosmos, and that's the only one that I remember, but all the other shades are not actually available in the minis. So I'm like, if I want these specific shades, what do I do? So I was confused myself, which is why I messaged them on WhatsApp, because they're the most active over there apparently. You have a chat bot first, but if you request for like a customer service rep to talk to you, they will, though they won't give you a clear-cut reply, which is really weird, not what I would expect. But I asked them that, look, I bought this and now I want to buy some of the full size, some of the specific shades which I loved in the minis as full sizes, and they're like, no, we don't have those. And then I'm like, then why do you have the mini in the first place? Like, I bought the mini set because I wanted to buy the full sizes of the shades that I love. That's what I do with all the other brands like Love Earth. Renee also has the same thing. I mean, that's the whole point, right, of having minis, is that if you love the mini, then you buy the full size. That's how it works for perfumes. That's how it works for lipsticks. I don't get this. I genuinely don't. So I know the actual owner of the brand is Parul. So Parul, if you are watching this video, which you probably aren't, please make these specific minis in the full size, or if you have the full sizes in the same shades as the minis but you've given them different names, at least tell us that if I love the shade Vibe, for example, then what full size am I supposed to buy which is going to be the same shade. I'm not talking similar, because similar and same are not the same thing. I want the same shade, not a similar shade of Vibe, for example, or Vogue or Aura, any of the shades. In fact, all the shades I really love and I would like to buy full sizes of, but I don't know which shade should I buy in the full size that's going to be the same. And online swatches are not really helpful whatsoever, let's be very honest. So yes, I love the formula of Parul Garg Beauty. I feel like in my spiel to talk about my experience with the minis versus the full sizes, I completely forgot to tell you that I love the formula of these silky matte lipsticks from Parul Garg Beauty, because A, they are very matte, B, they are not like a mousse that you can kind of feel on your lips. I feel like with mousses you can kind of feel them on your lips. I've tried out some other formulas, but this is like a proper, perfect, completely matte. Wow, it's getting darker and darker and darker. Can you please switch on the light? Okay, it's gonna take a while for the phone camera to adjust to the color, but yes, coming back, I love the formula because they are very matte, they are very opaque. Okay, it's not like a like some formulas can be a little bit thin, where you don't get complete opaque color, you can still see your lips through the lipstick, like your natural lip pigmentation kind of shows through. That does not happen with this. It is very long lasting. If I put this on in the morning, I don't need to worry about my liquid lipstick till the end of the day, or rather I don't need to worry about my lipstick at all till the end of the day. That's something I really love and appreciate about this formula, and I would honestly love to get full sizes of not one, not two, but multiple shades in this particular range, because I actually found some shades which I really love, and I love the formula too. So yes, if Parul or the team of Parul Garg Beauty could just make it a little bit easy for us, whatever shades we love in the minis, if we're able to buy those as full sizes, then you are going to get so much repeat business, Parul. I don't think you understand. So please make it a little bit simpler for us. But yes, formula is top notch, love it. Long lasting, opaque, beautiful shades, and yes, I find them to be pretty comfortable on the lips. I think that's a little bit subjective. I don't have super duper dry lips, but yes, I love the formula in general, and I'm going to use up every one of these 6 shades completely fully till the end for sure. You're going to see this in future empties, but I really wish I could buy some of them as full sizes after I use them up. So yes, if you could help me with that, Parul, or the team of Parul Garg Beauty, I would be really happy. So that is it for all the 5 products which I have been using this month, testing them out. And of course, there is a ton of more stuff also that I am constantly trying and testing out, which you will see in future months in this specific series. So yes, if you're excited for that and you want to watch it and stay tuned with all the different products that I'm testing out all the time, then please subscribe to my channel, keep up with watching the other videos which I post apart from these. But yes, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. This video is definitely longer than I thought it's going to be, and the lighting is shifted throughout, so I hope you don't mind that. But yes, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, bye guys. Bye.